Hi, everybody. It's Kathy Ondas with Simply Cards by Kathy. And I wanted to jump on here just a minute early to make sure uh, you could see me and that you can hear me okay. If you are there watching, please leave me a message and let me know that you can hear me and see me. Um, and watching, please leave me a message and let me and we're going to get started. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2022, and it is 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, I don't know about you, but I have a ton of designer series paper that I have not used. It's left over from the 2021-2022 annual catalog. And we all know the new catalog is going to go live in just about 3 weeks, I believe, from tomorrow. So I've been trying to find ways to use up my designer series paper. And today I thought I would show you a little bit of simple stamping and how to just do a quick card that's very simple, but yet still very appealing. So I'm going to use my You're a Peach designer series paper. And I'm going to make 2 cards. And in the end, I'll show you a third that I've just kind of been playing with everything, trying to use some of this up. So we're going to get started. Remember, you don't have to write anything down. I am going to have all the measurements with the directions and the supplies used on my website, but they'll also be down right below in the link. So just click below the video. Give me about an hour or so after the video and everything will be posted. And I also want to remind you that what I'm showing you can be done with any designer series paper. You do not need anything special. So let's get started. And I am starting off with Pale Papaya. And what I did is took an 8.5 by 11 and I cut it at 4 1/4 and it is scored at 5.5. So let's go ahead and burnish this fold. And use my bone folder. And again, remember this is simple stamping. So I have a piece of Calypso Coral here because here I've cut the pieces of my designer series paper. And in the colors, I have Pale Papaya, Calypso Coral, Balmy Blue, and oh my goodness, I believe it is Pear Pizzazz. Pear Pizzazz? It is. So we're going to go ahead, and this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So let's go ahead and adhere that to our card base. And I'm just going to use my multi-purpose glue to do that. And then we'll get, oops, let's get rid of that. Brand new bottle. And that can make a mess. So let's adhere that, and then I'm going to grab my hand sanitizer and we'll go ahead and get that cleaned off. So you want to leave an edge around, all the way around the card. Whoops. That looks pretty good. Let me grab my hand sanitizer. I always keep this on my desk, and it's a great way to get rid of the glue. And also, if you get ink on your hands, it'll take the ink off so you don't smudge or smear your card. Okay. All right, now we can start. All right, then I have a piece of, or that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have a piece that's 5 by 3 3/4. And this is going to be our front, and this is our inside. So let's set those off to the side. And this is just going to be very simple. I cut several 1-inch squares. And I just want to arrange them in, we'll move this over, kind of in a diagonal. And to do that, I want it pointing up. And then I'm going to use my bottom one next. And let's put that here. And we may switch these around a little bit. Now I can go ahead and put the 2 center ones in and see how far I have to overlap them. I'm going to go in, let's move this one up and bring the blue down. And if I keep my points to the side and to the top, they should be lined up pretty well. And then this one would go right about here. And then this one will go up. So there's the part of the base of our card. So let's go ahead and adhere these. And just with a little bit of glue this time. I hope you're having a good Monday. Hoping some of you are starting to get the annual catalog, and would love to hear how you're feeling about it. If there's stamps in there that you can't wait to get your hands on. I did do my pre-order, and I did get my stamps, and in another week or so, I will start doing some projects with those to show you what they're going to look like. It's what some of them are. So kind of a sneak peek type of presentation. Now I use the glue because that allows me to slide. And you can see there's no exact science to this, so it may be that you just need to slide things a little bit. So everything is right on the edge, and we're lined up. Great. So there's the first part of our card. Now I want to keep this simple. So the second part of my card is to stamp, and we're going to stamp a peach, and we're going to use Pale Papaya. So I'm going to open this up and move my glue out of the way. And we're also going to use some Calypso Coral because I want that peach to look realistic. And this is a stamp set I am going to miss. And I think we're going to use the large peach on this. And we're also going to use the leaves. So let's pull those over. Okay. And I'm going to stamp the peach first. Now, in order to give it some of that rosy color of the skin, first I'm going to ink it up with Pale Papaya. And I'm going to move this off because I want to bring in my piercing mat, since this is a photopolymer stamp set. And then I'm going to use a dauber with Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to go a little bit around and lightly around the edge, just enough to give it a little bit of color. Let's move this off. And I'm going to go in here. There we go. And now we're going to do our leaf. So let's close these up, or at least move them out, because I think we may use them still a little bit. And we're going to bring in our Pear Pizzazz for our leaf. Now the nice thing about the photopolymer stamp sets are that you can actually see through them, so that you can work on placement. So with this leaf, you can see right there in the center is where the stem would go. So without trying to get my head in the way, There's our peach. And then for the greeting, I am just going to stamp happy birthday right over it, right over the peach. And we're going to do that in the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. So let's ink that up. And for those of you that have watched me before, you've heard me say I don't do much at anything straight. So there we go. All right, let's cover this up. And now we could leave it like this, or we could add some flowers, but I think I'm going to leave it. And we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card. So this is going to go in like this. I'll make sure I have the card turned around correctly. This is going to go on like that. And let's use some glue. And then I think what we'll do is add a few of the Artistry Bloom sequins to just give it a little bit of bling. And I'm going to bring those in. I absolutely love these. And let me grab my pick tool. And we're going to go ahead and put a few of these on. Let's put one here. And maybe one over here. And then let's take a small one. And we're just going to put that right in here. So there's the front of our card. Now for the inside, I have happy birthday, and I'm just going to take a piece of one of the matching DSPs. This is a 1/4 inch, and we're just going to adhere it to the edge of the card. I like to use the DSP on the inside just to give it some color and kind of coordinate it with the outside of colors and papers that I've been using. And then for the greeting, I'm going to use another greeting from the Sweet as a Peach that says, "Let's celebrate you." So let's go ahead and stamp that. I'm going to bring in my mat. There we go. So we're going to use some glue and adhere this to the inside. And we are done with one of our cards. And you can see how simple that is. We're not done. I actually had another piece of Calypso Coral. I wanted to dress up the inside a little bit, and I don't often use cardstock on the inside, but I just thought that just gave it a really pretty effect. So we're going to use that. I knew I had the piece there. And then let's adhere this here. I'm going to slide that over a little bit. So here's our first card. Just using Designer Series paper, a stamp, and some cardstock. So let's set this one aside, and we're going to bring in our second one. Okay. So second one is a little bit different, but again, because the measurements are going to be pretty much close to the same, I wanted to stay with the same measurements. And we are going to, again, use Pale Papaya. It is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Now we're going to go ahead and fold this on our score line and burnish that. Okay, and I usually will just turn it over so that I get a good fold. All right, now again, we're going to use Calypso Coral. I tried to stay with the colors for this. And then we again have, this is 4 by 5 1/4 and 3 3/4 by 5. Now with this, we're going to do a little bit different. You can see I stayed with 1-inch squares, but I also cut 1 by 1 3/4 inch. So I'm going to pull these all in, and we are going to set these up as to how we would like them. So this one is going to, we're going to use the Calypso Coral polka dot on the top and bring this down just a little bit. And then I think with this one, we are going to do this at the top. And let's do this one on the bottom. Now, if your paper has design, you might want to keep an eye on that, like this one did. And then over here, this is going to go at the top. I'm switching them. Do this one here. Now, I like this better. So it's just kind of working to see which way you like it. And then this one's going to go up here. And here we go. There we are. So I'm going to start to glue these down. And this one we're going to do something a little bit different with. So let's just get our multi-purpose glue and add a little bit here. And then I'm gonna, that's kind of popping up there. Okay. And then I'm gonna take this one. Line it up. Okay. I love this paper, and I'm always looking for ways as to how to use up my designer series paper. How many of you out there, leave me a comment, have tons of scraps and you often don't know what to do with them? Well, that's me. So I've been looking for many, many ways to use them up. Just because I really think some of them are so beautiful. But we have so many, and I tend to often buy double packs, and then I need to use them up. So here's this one. Now this one we are going to pop up with the Stampin' Dimensional. So let's pull those in. And pop this one up. If you like the video, I would love if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to help me grow my channel. Okay, there's that. Now, I want to stamp something on this. And I think I'm going to go with the peach again, because with the stamp set, the other option would be to do just the florals. And I don't have enough room to do the large branch with the peaches. So let's go ahead with what we had. Let's do that peach again. And I am going to ink it up. And again, with my dauber, just gently go around the edge and up in the center here. Okay. And I am going to pull in my peach. Okay. And this is going to be kind of hard to stamp the leaves, but I'm going to go off to the side just like that. So let's close these up so we're not, I'm not sticking my hands in them. And we're going to put the Pear Pizzazz on our leaves. And I'm just going to, again, you can see easily where we need to put that stem. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with this one and do thanks so much. So we're going to take this, and I always use my grid paper to line that up. And bring in my memento, or my tuxedo black, I guess I should say. And let's stamp this here. And I'm going to offset it so that it's stamping over the peach. And then let's adhere this to the front of our card. And you can see this is something I used from before and didn't want to waste the paper. So I used the opposite side. Okay, now we're going to pop that on here. And again, I'm just going to glue it down since I've already used Stampin' Dimensionals on the front. And again, the glue allows me to slide it into place. That was a little too much of a slide. Here we go. Okay, and again, I'm going to pull in my artistry sequins that are right here. And let's just add a couple here too. We'll add one here. Maybe one here. And I'm going to go up towards the top and maybe do one in the corner. So there's the front. And let's do our inside. So again, with this one, I took a piece of Designer Series paper, and another way to use up your paper. And I'm just going to attach it to the inside of the card. Now, and then I'm going to leave the inside blank so that I can write a personalized message. So with this one, I did not cut a piece of the Calypso Coral for an inside, but after seeing it, I think I'm going to go back and do that. So, and then I'll adhere it down once I've done that. I think I like it much better. Let me close this up and we'll take a look at our two cards, and I have a third to show you. So here's the one with 1-inch squares. This is using 1-inch squares and a 1 by 1 3/4 inch rectangle. And here's one that I was just playing with right before I came on to do the live video. And this is using 1/2 inch strips. So many ways to use your designer series paper and make some really pretty cards that are truly simple stamping. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Leave me a comment as to which one you like best. And again, if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and help me grow my channel. And I will be back on Friday for Friday Fun at 1 and hope you can join me then. I hope you have a great evening and see you soon.